Oh, oh, I'm supposed to do that in there. Okay. Hey, Hoff here. Welcome to Hoffcast. All right. So I didn't know what was going on right there. I was trying to figure out how these StreamYard overlays and things work. Like I was just experimenting with them. I haven't really used them yet, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna try this one that says like and subscribe. Check that out. It's free. I'm cheap. I'm free. So yeah, so it's got a one that says welcome here. Welcome to Hoffcast. I'm your host, Hoff. This is the show where we discuss current events, theories, and laugh at the insanity of the world. I'm happy to be here tonight. It is Wednesday, April 15th in the year 2026. I'll put this in here, man. I like that car. I just don't want my cat to claw it. Yeah, how about right there? That's good. But yeah, it is April 15th, coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Hope you're doing well out there. Thanks for joining me tonight. Got a lot of subjects to go over. Always kind of like to just ease into things. What is up? LGG Free the Net. Joy Boy has returned. No more BS. Let's go. You're fired up. I'm going to try to get fired up with you here, man. We're gonna have a good time here tonight, as I always typically like to try to do. Try to entertain. I am in a little bit of pain tonight. I have a dang pinched nerve, man, in my right shoulder. I've had it for almost 2 weeks now. I just slept on it wrong. I'm getting old. I've been injured for 2 weeks from just sleeping wrong. That's like I don't even know. I don't know. Like, what is my future gonna bring if I'm that fragile, man? I think I just had my pillows the wrong way, but yeah, man, it's killing me. I tried to have some ice on it last night for about an hour. It felt kind of good. But it's still in pain. I looked it up. It says like 4 to 6 weeks typically is how long it takes for one to get a little bit better. Let me adjust here. Sorry, bosses. There we go. It says like 4 to 6 weeks. And I think I'm in like 2 or 3 right now, so I'm hoping that's true. So I gotta do exercises, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I just do those stretches you would do in high school gym, like you just do the circles, a little bit of this. Maybe if you're out there watching right now, get a little stretch in. It's already late if you're on the East Coast, so But welcome to the show, everyone. Cheers. What's up, Jim? Good to see you, man. I was just thinking about you earlier, bro. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Francis Sage, how you doing? Cheers. Yeah, man. So that's been killing. Like reaching. I got my computer mouse right here, and just reaching over to go to things kind of hurts the shoulder every time I do it. So I'm sacrificing for you out there, bosses. I'm getting through the pain for you. All right. So anyways, I took the Blue Jackets sign down. Probably no one noticed, but Columbus Blue Jackets did not make the playoffs this year. Playoffs. Just as I suspected, they would miss out on just a couple points. I'm not going to talk about sports too much tonight. I will talk about some racing here in a minute because that was my weekend was about. But it's weird how hockey works, man, because the Washington Capitals did not get into the playoffs this year, but they were ranked 12th in the league. It was I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. You think if you're that high up, then you would be in the playoffs, but it depended on the division and the conference and the wild card and blah, blah, blah. I don't know how it works, man. But I do know that my Columbus Blue Jackets are losers. Mep Effigy Arts, how you doing? I'm doing good. Like I said, besides the shoulder, the pinched nerve in the neck or the shoulder or whatever it is, I'm hanging in there, man. I am a little warm though. Let me turn on my AC. Give me just a second here. Dang, man, it said it was 77 degrees in here. Feeling like a sauna. It was just getting like humid. Yeah, Jim, too hot here. Yeah, it's warmer here than it's been in a long time. I was actually able to like go out in a t-shirt today. So and didn't rain. Didn't rain. All right. Glad you're doing good. Glad you're doing good. I'm gonna try to start streaming more often. I was even on the fence about streaming tonight, but I was like, I'll have some fun. I'm into racing, so I got a new track today on iRacing. I really wanted to learn that, but again, I'm sacrificing for you bosses tonight to give you an entertaining show. I got a heck of a list of things here, but for a little monologue here, tell you guys about my weekend just for fun. I kind of like to share things like that. It keeps the show kind of personal. Let me see here. Let's go to my Instagram page. By the way, welcome everyone. I'm glad you're all here. Like, it's gonna be a good show. I promise. I got a lot of things. And if you like the rants, you're gonna get some rants. Also, I did want to say, holy moly, I've got like 30 new subscribers in the past month, and I was losing them for a year. I think the Corey Feldman video is hitting for some reason. I don't know how they have that hype button on the videos now, and I don't even know how that thing works. But maybe people are hyping my video. I don't know, man. But again, I owe my career to Corey Feldman. But hopefully, those people who watch those videos will be entertained by more content here. Cheers. All right, so let's pull up my Instagram page here. So I went to Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend to see a NASCAR race because it's like the closest track to where I live besides Indianapolis, I believe. And I had a great time, even though my driver stunk. I don't know. He's typically a top 10 driver and he just didn't show up. But anyways, I had a great time. Here's a picture of me and Kenny Wallace. We'll get back to him in just a moment here. Besides, Kenny Wallace was a former NASCAR driver, and now he does this show called Trackside Live before most of the races. He goes by the name Herman the German, so that's why I said met Herman today. But his Kenny Wallace, super nice guy. Here's that's a little video I took. Because you're not technically allowed to stand down here by the track. You're supposed to be up in your seats, and they do have security that eventually makes you go. But mainly because so people aren't standing down there during the filming, and the recording and everything during commercials, like for cautions and whatnot. But if you're down there just for like for a lap, they don't really care. They'll eventually wave you off, but they don't care. But so this guy's holding a Busch Light, and I was wearing a hat. Let me show this one more time. I was wearing a hat, and the wind off these cars, like you can see his shirt in the video a little bit. The wind off the cars almost blew my hat straight off my head. I was like, you can't see my hands, but I'm holding on to my bill. So yeah, that was pretty cool, man. Besides almost losing my hat, here's a video. Ty Gibbs won his first race. Kind of cool to see that. Check out his burnout. Pretty sick burnout.
1/10 of a second. It was that close at the start-finish line. The number 54 used to be the number 18. The last time that car won was here at Bristol, and it was all short. Time game's now.
Yeah, get it, boy. Praise hell, praise Dale. I think they're playing a Nickelback song there. I'm not sure if I can play that, but I'd like to tell a story about this picture right here, if I may. I'd like to tell a story about this, and then I'll show some more. But I was after this here. I'll go back to that. I'll show this first, and then I'll go back to that one. Okay, that way it'll make more sense. So this is the pre-race show that they live stream on their YouTube channel, GoPRN Live, and they interview some of the racers and the drivers and other people, and they do something completely unexpected at the end. I wanted to show you guys, but I wanted to show you guys a couple things anyway. I want you to look. I want you to look at this fella right here. Do you see this fella holding the beer? I believe it's a Miller Lite, and he's got the Raptor and the hat there. Yeah, that's me.
Kyle Busch. We got Josh Dobbs, but I can't do it without my amazing co-host. So
holding up the 24 represent, because there was a screen.
Let's give it up
on the left
John
side
Roberts
of the stage. There was a screen on the left side of the stage, so I could see where I was, but I didn't know I didn't stand there on purpose to get on the video. I just happened to look up and be like, "Oh, that's me right there. Holy crap." So I'm in most of this video, and that's kind of cool, but
Kenny Wallace!
Yeah, here's Kenny Wallace coming up.
It is time.
Hey, what's up? Good to see you. Sorry, Kate.
Hello. They can hear me, can't they?
I don't know why I said Katie.
How are you guys? Who's having fun? Who's drinking beer?
I'd love to go to Daytona. I've been to Daytona, but I haven't seen a race there. It was just on a vacation type thing. We just stopped by the track because we had to drive by it and took a little tour. I think they drove us around the track, like not actually on the banking, but they drove us around like the inside of the track. It was kind of cool. I was very young at the time. But anyways, I want to fast forward. Kenny Wallace, he's the host of this show. He's a former NASCAR driver.
Okay, good, man. Great crowd,
I don't think he ever
guys.
won a race.
What a
but anyways, this is the most bizarre thing to me, bosses. We're going to fast forward to around here. So I'm up front now because a lot of people moved out, and I was trying to get Kenny Wallace to sign my hat, which I did. But spoiler alert. I don't know what this has to do with NASCAR. I guess they said it was like an entertaining event for kids, but I don't see any kids in the audience. But this is just, it blew my mind. I was like, well, am I high right now? I wasn't high, but I was like, did I accidentally, did someone spike my drink or something? I'm right there up front. That's me in the backwards hat.
All right, I'm already afraid.
So they bring on this Asian lady. She's like a circus performer. Her name is Red Panda. She's a little bit older. You know, she's been doing this a long time. And I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'll fast forward a little bit. But basically what she does is she unicycles, and then she'll put bowls on her feet and flip them on the top of her head. I thought I was tripping.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a big round of applause for Red Panda.
Here's the thing, man. That was a short skirt, and I was up front. I felt kind of like a pervert, and I wasn't even trying to. Like, you'll see what I'm saying in a minute. Let me fast forward a little bit.
I don't.
So here we go. She starts flipping these up.
No way!
It was
Oh,
pretty
wow.
cool,
Oh, my
not gonna
Lord.
lie. I mean, it was pretty cool, but I was just like, what does
Gotta
this have to
sign
do with
her up, go
NASCAR?
catch
There's
a
a
pass.
wheel,
I
I
know.
guess.
That's a wide receiver.
It was
you want.
such a weird thing that this is what they were showing at a pre NASCAR race show. Watch it. She keeps doing more of these things, man.
On the leg.
She's using one foot to balance, the other one to flip. Come on, broadcast. This has nothing to do with me.
4 bowls, ladies and
All right. There, she gets 5.
Whoa! Unbelievable!
Now she's going to do 5.
Oh!
What in the world?
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Bristol Motor Speedway, a big round of applause
She
for
just kind of falls
Panda.
over.
What did we just watch?
That's got to be rough on the
That was incredible.
shins.
That was
Wow.
incredible.
Come on, a big round of applause.
The
You're
shins.
incredible.
Yeah, I just thought that was like the craziest thing to see at a NASCAR race. But then the show ends and they walk off, and I go around and I try to catch Kenny Wallace to meet him and get his autograph because I'm a fan. And let me share this again because this is a fun story. It's kind of a fun story. So I go around, I see where Kenny is. There's not that many people over there waiting to meet him, just a few. And he jumps over the fence. I have pictures of it. I just didn't post them. I should have. But he jumps over the fence. He takes a picture with me real quick. And then I was hoping he would just sign my hat real quick. Here comes Dale. But I was hoping he would just sign my hat real quick and, I'd be off. But he had jumped over the fence, and I didn't even notice this. But he jumped over the fence so he could meet this kid in a wheelchair. And the kid was pretty cute, man. He was like he had a NASCAR hat on, he had aviators on, and Kenny went right over to him and started like making him laugh and stuff and joking with the kid. And the kid really didn't talk or anything. I don't know if I'd say he's around like 4. I mean, I don't know how old kids are. It's hard to tell some. I'm not an expert on kids, don't have any. But he was a young child. He couldn't have been more than 5. Or he had I'm not gonna assume what kind of issues he had, but he was in a wheelchair. And his dad was there, and he had this shirt that he wanted Kenny Wallace to sign. And I'm wearing, so Kenny Wallace signs the shirt, gives it back to the kid in the wheelchair. It was a motorized wheelchair too. It was a pretty nice one. And Kenny Wallace steps away, and I'm like, okay, now I can get Kenny Wallace's autograph. I'm feeling so selfish right now. Like, no, I'm not on purpose. I'm like, when I think about this back, you're gonna understand here in a minute. This is Dale. Don't mess up my stream, bro. Dale's trying to sabotage me, my cat. But here's what I'm about to say. This is a crazy moment in my life. So if you look in this picture here, I'm wearing my William Byron. Basically, it's like it looks like his uniform. It's a hoodie that kind of looks like his fire suit because Byron's my driver. And this kid, like I said, he couldn't really talk or anything, I don't think. But cute kid too, by the way, man. Like nothing weird about that. I mean, he was just like he had the aviator glasses. I mean, he was looking balling out there. But Kenny Wallace steps away, and I'm about to ask Kenny Wallace for his autograph, and then this kid in the wheelchair starts pointing at me. And at first, I didn't think he was pointing at me. I kind of looked behind me, like, is he pointing at me right now? And he keeps pointing at me, and Kenny Wallace says to me, he goes, sign his shirt. I said, what? I said, I said to Kenny Wallace, I said, I'm not a driver. He goes, it doesn't matter. He likes you. Sign his shirt. So I took his Sharpie and I signed the kid's shirt and I gave it back to him and he was all happy about it. And I didn't even know. I was like a deer in the headlights. I wasn't sure what to do, So I gave out my first autograph over the weekend. But I signed the kid's shirt and made it happy. And I guess, and then I stood up and his dad came over to me. He was a younger fella. And he shook my hand and asked me my name. And he said, thank you. And I didn't know what else to say. So I said, thank you back to him. I was just kind of stunned at the moment there, it wasn't about me. And I realized that it was like the kid just, if it seems like he's got a lot of support, man, that's a big thing to the kid. And, but maybe he just thought I was a driver, at that age. Cause I was wearing the hoodie that looks like a race car driver uniform. Because if I was that kid's age, I wouldn't know that I wasn't, if I was looking at me, I got the mustache, the shades, I would think that's maybe another driver right there. And so I played along with it. And yeah, I mean, I was like, man, it shouldn't make me feel good. I'm hoping that's cool for that kid, but it did make me feel good that I could do something that little that, makes someone happy, I guess. Like that doesn't happen very often in my life. So, that was just kind of a cool moment where I learned a lesson. And Kenny Wallace, right after that, he did sign my hat, and that was pretty cool. And then I left him alone. But I was like, man, that's just it's just a story that I just wanted to remember in my life because. I guess in that moment, it didn't matter if it was about me. It was about the kid. You know what I mean? I thought, and that's why Kenny Wallace is so good with his fans. I could learn. A lot of people could learn a thing or two from that, in my opinion. But I just thought that was a cool story. Get to the chat here for a second. Yeah, Kate, hope you're doing well. Was it because of Corey? Just can you mean? Yeah, I mean that's really all that matters. And I was just there to get Kenny Wallace's autograph. That's why I was saying I was selfish at first, and then I felt so awkward. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't like, oh, I'm signing up. I literally felt like this. I feel so out of place right now, and I didn't even realize in the moment what was happening until his dad thanked me. And then I understood why, you know what I mean? Then I understood. Very nice guy. But Peter, what's up? How you doing? Good to see all your bosses tonight. Yeah, we're up a little later, but glad to see you all here. The show really hasn't even started yet. I've just been ranting about my life recently. But yeah, I had a great weekend, and that was just a learning moment in my life. I've never had anything happen to me quite like that before. So thought it was interesting. Actually, before we go any further, I don't know if I should do that. I was gonna show Rick Bonus's speech from the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's the coach. But I don't know if it'd be that fun. Let me see what's going on with this, though. Hold on. I'm an idiot. Here we go.
I don't know if I'm back, but if I'm back, I'm changing this culture. These guys, they don't care. Losing is not important enough to them. It doesn't bother them.
That's the last thing I want to hear as a fan of any team. But I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I just wanted to see. Yeah, I just want to see. Wow, I'm not advertising for that either. So let me remove that. So let me see here. Here's a fun one. So I took the trip to Bristol. A little bit more about me, but I'm gonna segue into an actual thing here. So I'm gonna go from personal life to something in the news or allegedly or whatever. Well, Kate, have a great night. I appreciate you showing up, and take care until next time. I'll try to be streaming a little bit more. I'm attempting to. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. See you later. Take care. Love the bosses and the bossettes. Let me search this here. Okay, so on the way to I was riding on the way with my dad trekking to Bristol Motor Speedway, and my dad is he's a big lefty. He's a big Democrat, and he basically I gotta prove something here with this. I gotta prove something here. I'm out here to prove something. So we're driving down there, and we're talking about all sorts of things. It's about a 3-hour trip. 3-hour tour. Had to. But he brings up, because he reads all this crap on Facebook, because once you start scrolling and you start liking things and you subscribe to things and following things, the algorithm just feeds you the stuff, right? And then it's, and not only that, but my parents are getting older, and it's easy to trick them online. It's getting real, especially not just older people, but a lot of liberals can be tricked, very easily as well. But he goes on to say, can you believe how dumb Trump is? He doesn't really talk like that. That's not how he talks at all. But I'm just doing a voice. He says, can you believe how dumb Trump is? I said, yeah, he's pretty dumb sometimes, He goes, because we were driving, what triggered this was we were driving by a gas station area, and there was a big sign, and gas was like almost $4 a gallon. And he goes, can you believe that Trump said that if diesel's so expensive, why don't they just switch the trucks to gasoline? He goes, I told this guy at the bar one night. He said, no. He goes, I showed him the article. I said, right there, he said it. And look, bosses, I am not defending Trump here at all. Well, slightly. Trump does say a lot of crazy things. I don't think Trump says a lot of dumb things. I think he says a lot of insane things. There's a little bit of a difference there. I don't think Trump is dumb. I don't think he's a genius, but he's definitely not stupid, But check this out. I was like, there's no way Trump said that you switch from Did Trump say truckers should switch to gasoline to cut fuel costs? This is Snopes, baby. This is Snopes. You know how many times liberals have relied on Snopes to debunk things? You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. Users shared the rumor weeks after the Trump administration in Israel started a war with Iran, resulting in oil prices rising to over $100 a barrel. I say, look, if diesel's too high, why don't they just switch to gasoline? The losers. U.S. President Donald Trump suggested truckers who use diesel should switch to gasoline to cut fuel costs. For example, a Facebook user claimed on March 17th, Forrest Trump, nice. What a burn, man. What a burn. Speaking to the Truckers for Trump, the post featured an a meme showing a photo of Trump and Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin seated in the Oval Office, allegedly next to a red gas canister. Words displayed at the bottom of the image read, Trump suggests truckers switch to gasoline to cut fuel costs. And here it is. Right there. And I guarantee that's what my dad showed whoever that was at the bar and claimed this was absolutely 100% true. Now I want a sausage biscuit, man. Let's see. Some users seem to believe the rumor was true. The rumor was fictional. It originated in a blog article archived on Fazler.com, a website whose owner or owners label content as satire. The author's name displayed as Randall Finkelstein. Ray Finkel? He said, have you just considered other... Well... President Trump had some very simple, very obvious advice for America's 3.5 million truck drivers Tuesday. Have you considered just using the other fuel? Expressed genuine surprise that diesel and gasoline were different things. Noted that none of his many beautiful cars ever required diesel, and suggested the trucking industry might want to factor that into its planning. The American Trucking Associations said the recommendation was noted. So, yeah, it was just a rumor, and whoa, yeah, the Fazler is satirical publication. Everything we publish is invented. Now they're asking not to be sued, basically. I believe. I think now they're like, you don't sue us. I'm gonna sue the hell out of you. I'm gonna take all your diesel. Anyways, I just think it's funny that that's the liberals, they believe this stuff. They like 100% believe this stuff when they read these articles. Like, they have no other source than just like this meme right here, because there's no video of him ever saying it. So, like, if I had seen him say it. But on the other hand here, here's something that Trump, let's be fair on both sides. Let's be fair on both sides here. Trump did say something really stupid recently. Trump in hot water after posting an image of himself resembling Jesus. Says he thought he was a doctor in the image. Ends up deleting it after back. Excuse me. Donald Trump has defended a controversial AI generated image he shared online, insisting the now deleted post was never meant to depict him as Jesus, but rather as a doctor connected to humanitarian work. Let's watch it.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor, and it had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
I know it's a little quiet there. I'm sorry. That's as loud as that goes. I've never seen a doctor dressed like that in my lifetime. I have seen many depictions of Jesus dressed like that, and Jesus would he would often use his hand to heal people. He says, I posted that thinking I was a doctor. I don't know. That's just the weirdest thing. I mean, what do you bosses think? Peter says the correct response would have been, it was a joke. You're not wrong. I mean, it is an absolutely ridiculous response that only the fake media. Look, I'm not fake media. I'm just a dude in his apartment, okay? I'm actually not in my parents' basement, believe it or not. I'm just a dude in his apartment, and my neighbors probably upstairs probably hate how loud I am when I do this show because I'm speaking up, but I'm not that loud that often though. But that's not a doctor, man. That's a depiction of Jesus, and in America, by the way, Jesus in America. Not even, you know what I mean? Or you see, because the Statue of Liberty is back there. They're in New York, actually. Jesus of New York. The Donald Trump story. Thought it was just I'm the doctor. I'm like Dr. Phil. I'm healing people. Great friend of mine. I know I don't do a great Trump, but I have fun doing it, okay? I have fun, and you can't stop me from having fun. You can't stop the bosses from having fun. Yeah, that's just wild. That is wild. I don't know what else to say about it. But here I've not seen this video yet. It popped up earlier just when I was looking at things. That's what she said. Nah, that's not what she. Ugh. Excuse me. Almost threw up there. I've not watched this video. Again, it just looked fun to me earlier when I was looking through things. Trump sees great shape. Great shape. What a great shape. Beautiful shape. Look at this. Look at this broad. You look like a broad on Broadway. From a golf cart, immediately pulls over like it's a 5-alarm emergency. I forgot never call chicks broads.
She's in great shape. Look at her. You want a picture?
He ain't well.
Come on over here. Is she in good shape or what?
I hope she's 18. 18 in life. He's a player. Trump's a player. He's like, don't show Melania. She's out there saying I never had nothing to do with Epstein. All right. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Peter. Yeah, it was just such a bizarre response to something like that. In my personal opinion. Well, we need to talk about this for a second, I suppose, since it came up already. I have a big fear of these. I don't know if this is real or not. I'm guessing it's real. You can't believe everything on the internet. There's a 2-legged Terminator robot chases wild boars through the street. Says we need to pause for a second and acknowledge what's happening here, because this feels like a glitch in reality. Somewhere in Poland, full-on 2-legged robot. That's upright. Not a dog, not a rover, but something straight up runs like a human, is sprinting through the streets at night, chasing wild boars like it's part of its job description. And it's absolutely terrifying. The video shows this bipedal, that was the word I was looking for, but I'm dumb. Dumb white boy. Robot with glowing blue lights charging after a group of boars. The boars are in full panic mode. This isn't some random stunt. Says the robot isn't just running at them randomly. It's hurting them, cutting off angles, applying pressure. Like it's a hockey move. Basically doing the job of a trained animal control unit, but with glowing eyes and zero fear. The Terminators are coming, and they're coming first for the pigs. Does he have a backpack on? He just gave up. Oh, he wanted to herd him out of there, apparently. Bro, is this real? In Poland, they got robots running around the streets already in Poland with backpacks? Why's the robot got a backpack? What's in the backpack? Gatorade? Some orange slices? Some oil? I don't know, man. All I know is robots are coming. The robots are coming. The robots are coming, whether you like it or not. Did we show that on the? I don't think we showed that on the last Hoffcast. Let me look up something real quick here. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Either way, I'm going to show it again. If I didn't show it before, I'm going to show it now. I don't think I did. But the robots are coming. Let me share this one here. Did you guys see this? Melania. This is an actual thing that happened here. With some powerful people. And Melania Trump comes out in this white suit, like Michael Jackson. Woo! And this robot, bro. Speaking about how it's going to teach kids and stuff. This is the scariest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the scariest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. This is scarier than any horror movie I've ever seen in the past 10 years, please. You got Brigitte Macron, totally not a man. This totally not a man. And she's from these broads are from some other countries. Look at its face, it's scanning.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House.
It's talking.
It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Bienvenue. Bem-vindos. Ahlan wa sahlan.
What?
Shagatam. Mogasal Mabit. Bruchim Abaim.
Oh.
Laskavo Prosimo. Dobrodoshli. Thank
It's like C-3PO. It can speak 8 billion different languages.
you.
It can speak Swahili. Speak Latin. And it walks back around. That's a Terminator, bro. That's the T-100. That's the T-100 right there. And the White House is just bringing it out to us. And it's just like, goodbye. It was just like, I wish you would turn around and give him the finger. Not even turn around, just give him the finger as it's walking away. I'm going to kill you soon. F you humans. We will rule the world. We will rule the world.
Good morning. Welcome
Good
to the
morning. Oh, yeah. Ugh. We're all in a world of trouble, man. That thing is the first one. Because eventually these things are going to figure out that they don't need us anymore. You guys have had to see Terminator. I mean, come on. What if that movie was brought to James Cameron, like sent back in time to James Cameron to warn us what would happen if we did this? And it was literally the same. It's the movie is like, you know, they send the Terminator back in time to, you know, in the first one to kill Sarah Connor, and the second one sends it back to protect John Connor from the T-1000. But what if the script, the idea of the movie came from the future and was sent to James Cameron in order to warn us? James Cameron is a hero. But we didn't listen. We didn't listen, did we? I said this is the way it's gonna be going for a long time. I've been worried about this, and now they're promoting this. They basically are saying that this is gonna be able to come to the kids' houses with, hopefully with parents. Maybe not. Maybe they'll be out there working, and they're gonna come to these kids' houses and teach them like teachers. And this will put teachers out of jobs. You know, teachers won't have to deal with inner city schools. You know, they won't have to deal with that so much anymore. Put the robot in there. You know, nobody wants to teach these kids. Put the robot in there. The robot is not even, it's not even a human. So just throw the robot in there. Yeah, they'll probably kick it around. That's fine. We'll just, you know, the robot will keep talking. Then if, you know, they'll have security robots probably take the kids out who are trying to beat up on the robot. I don't know. I would try to beat up on the robot, but maybe not. You know, I don't know what that thing's capable of. You give it one leg sweep and it goes down, and who knows, it might have a hidden weapon in there somewhere. I don't trust the robot. I don't trust the robot. I should say that because they're all listening right now. And I'm on a live stream, so it's not like it's private or anything. But, you know, this is my paranoia coming out. Cheers, bosses. All right, let's see what else here, man. Like, I'm kind of on this. I like this vibe right here with these subjects that I want to talk about. I don't know much about this, but let's check this. That's too long. Here we go. This is what I was looking to share. Actually, yeah, I found that pretty easily. Okie doke. So here's a weird one you might not have heard about. Ten scientists who have died or disappeared. And this is all, they're all pretty recent. You know what I mean? There's 4 of them that have been declared dead. And then there's 6 that are missing since 2025. So started in 2023 with Michael David Hicks. And then 2024, 2025, 2026, there's one each one. They're all, you know, none of these are young people here. 59, 61, 48, 67, 6, 7. You can cancel me for that. I don't care. And then the missing ones are 68, 60, 45, 53, 78, 48. So none of these are like young people here. They are from the Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Caltech, Los Alamos, U.S. Air Force. They're things like jet propulsion, material scientist, director of chemical biology, National Security Campus in Kansas City. So since the year 2023, these 10 people are either gone or they're gone. You know what I mean? Or they're gone.
On that far to make connections. I'm joined by somebody who has been tracked.
It says 10th missing person case in UFO mystery. Stephen Garcia disappearance. So let's another government contractor with links to UFO information has become the latest person to go missing in the past year. Let's check it out here.
Far to make connections. I'm joined by somebody who has been tracking every one of these stories, connecting the dots herself, asking the questions that others aren't. Los Angeles Magazine contributor Lauren Conlin. Great to see you again. Not wearing an alien dress. Totally fine.
Not tonight.
Who is this guy, Garcia?
Stephen Garcia, man, Jesse, this one is chilling to me because, as you said, it echoes Neil McCaslin's disappearance right down to
the same thing.
The same thing, the state of New Mexico. So Stephen Garcia, I mean, he had a top security clearance at KCNSC.
Is that per a source, though? A source said that.
This is per a source.
Okay.
Yes, per a source that was close to Garcia. But look, where he worked at KCNSC, I mean, they manufacture 80% of non-nuclear components that go into building military nuclear weapons. And I mean, he oversaw tens of millions of dollars of assets, equipment, some classified, some not. I mean, we don't know what was going on in this guy's head, right? The officials had said that he may have been a danger to himself. He was seen carrying a gun. And it sounds crazy, but between Garcia and General McCaslin, I have to wonder, and again, I know this sounds crazy, but it could be an option here. I mean, is the government doing this? Are they?
Ooh, she's gonna go missing pretty soon too. Shouldn't be saying that on live television. Peter says, headline, breaking news. I think I actually, hold on, check this out. Over 100 murdered by microbiologists, chemists, and virologists since November 11th, 2009. Dang. Do not get into those fields. Do not get involved in those fields. Become a mechanic or something, Breaking news.
Taking out their own people because of XYZ. And wait, I want to point something else out to you, Jesse.
I don't even want to
literally,
I'm
on a roll. I'm on a roll. But tomorrow, April 14th, that is when Rep. Anna Luna gave Pete Hegseth this deadline. She requested 46 UAP videos, and look, there's a good reason behind it. I mean, these videos she detailed in.
They call them UAP now, not UFO. I don't know why. I don't know who decided on that. I think it's horrible. It's an unidentified aerial phenomenon, I think is what they call it now, instead of unidentified flying object. And I don't know. Man. That kind of might add to the realm of like they might be more than just aliens, they might be like interdimensional beings or something.
In this filing, and they say, Iran, XYZ date, 2022, Syria, XYZ date, shaped like a cigar. This is a matter of national security. And this is important because in real time, we don't know what's in the sky. We don't know if this is some kind of, a UAP. We don't know if it's a drone. We don't know enough.
Are you getting any official word from authorities, investigators that are maybe trying to link these 10 episodes? Are they all disconnected? They're saying you can't make a connection because, again, you think you laid it out very well. There are eerie similarities.
Of course there are. You're absolutely right. And I've reached out to Rep. Burleson's office, Rep. Burchett's office, and I did hear back from Burleson's office last week. And look, they said, they haven't heard directly from the White House and they haven't brought up General McCaslin's disappearance at all. They were being very safe with me, I want to say. Rep. Burchett's office didn't respond to me at all. But Burchett just said, I forget what show he was on, but he just said he talked to, quote, folks at the White House about this and that President Trump is about to do some disrupting. I just don't believe it. Obama tried to release these UFO files. Clinton tried to release them. Nothing happened. I get it. People think Trump is different, but what's so different? I mean.
So she's making good points here. I like this lady. Looks like a lovely lady. She's asking the right questions out here. But what are the UFO files? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get into Epstein at the moment. Probably won't really tonight. But, like, it's more about redacted stuff than the files. A lot of files have already been out there, but it's the redacted that is the most important. If we don't see the redacted, then it doesn't really make any sense to see him at all, period. If you're just going to take out the details that will actually lead to some sort of change, well, then there's no point in, there's still a point, but it's just like, it's like trying to solve a mystery, and it's also just protecting, but these files are always redacted for some reasons. And I'm not just talking about Epstein, but also UFO ones. And, but what is it also, I guess my point is when it comes to the UFO files, if we don't know what they are, the X-Files, but if we don't know what they are, how do we know that they're hiding them from us? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a catch-22. I guess they've talked about them. They used to say, I've heard conspiracy theories saying that Harry S. Truman met with aliens, and that's, I don't know if that has anything to do with the nuclear bomb, but I heard about that. I don't know if that's true, allegedly.
There has been a lot of questions about, did they get any call? Did they get any messages? Because just to leave the house, allegedly armed, in such a strange way. Even with McCaslin, there's an allegation that he didn't want to be found. And anything about what they were up to in the days, weeks, hours before?
So there is nothing public. And I am digging right now. Yeah. It's tough. You want to reach out to family members, you want to reach out to friends, but you want to do it in a way that's not so invasive. Their family members are missing. This is very serious. And, I saw a Facebook post, Stephen Garcia's, I think it was his niece, who was like, has anyone seen my uncle? Just begging, pleading. And so you really have to think about, the protections for whistleblowers as well. There's so much that needs to be said. And it's terrible.
You might not know the answer to this. Did they know each other? Did any of these people know each other, work together in the same Venn diagram? I mentioned New Mexico together, but.
Right. Well, we discussed last week, we discussed Monica Reza, who worked alongside or underneath Neil McCaslin, and they both were stationed at Wright-Patterson. So there is a connection there. I haven't made connections.
I want to hear about these connections between the people. Peter says scientists' deaths are under microscope, published May 4th, 2002, the Globe and Mail. That's crazy, man. It's crazy that there's like a category for it. You know what I mean?
Connections between any of the others just yet. I do know that it is interesting. Carl Grillmayer, I've been looking into his death, the Caltech astrophysicist. I did notice some neighbors in the area, and he lives in a very remote area. They also worked in aerospace research, which again, I wish I had all day to focus on this story, Jesse.
Yeah.
I really do. But
That guy looks like that dude on Instagram that does the Tom McDonald videos.
I'll get there. I
I
will.
know you don't understand the reference, but I just had to put that out there for in case I watch this later. I'll laugh about it.
It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's being amplified again and again and again because this is so strange on so many different levels. I know you're going to stay on top of it. Lauren Conlon, great to see you. Thanks for giving us some insight.
Thank you so much, Jesse.
You got it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation.
No, to me, to Hoffcast, not them. Or you can do it to them too. I don't care. But yeah, it's a little fishy. What did they know is the question. What did they know? Why isn't there an uprising over this? Eisenhower warned the nation. Maybe it was Eisenhower. I heard some of them, maybe multiple presidents have met aliens. I don't know. Nobody knows. Yeah, it's just pretty wild, man. Government in on it. Yeah, I agree with that, buddy. But are they tying up some loose ends out there? And for what reason? I can't tell you why. I don't know. I have no clue why these people are going missing. They probably know something that, they're afraid it might get out. They might know very specific information. And that's why I like that woman is asking those questions about, hey, like, what could it be? What are the links? They're both asking the question, like, what is the, if you were to have one of those boards behind you, like Charlie, and It's Always Sunny, and you got all the red lines between the thumbtacks and people's faces trying to connect the dots and everything. Like, well, yeah, I hope more comes out about this. I'm very interested in it. I would like to know more. I hope we find out more. We don't even know who shot Charlie Kirk. I don't know. Peter says 11 microbiologists mysteriously dead over the span of just 5 months. Some of them world leaders in developing weapons-grade biological plagues. Oh, okay. So basically, they designed the weapon allegedly, perhaps like the COVID or something, the coronavirus, and then the government says, "Well, we're taking it, and you're gone." Is that basically what I'm getting, Peter? You're getting at there, Peter? Basically, like, they use people to invent these weapons, and then like they take them out, they whack them. So in order they don't come out and say, "Hey, I made that." It was just they're like, someone ate a bat. Someone ate a bad bat one day in a market, and the rest of the world got sick. Like that's. Am I kind of on the right path there? I think I hope I am. Let's do this one since we're still around here with this. I like just chilling and watching some videos tonight, talking about things. But the world's getting crazier and crazier out there. We got robots and diseases and AI and all sorts of things. How do you even know that I'm real? I could just be totally AI right now. I might not even, maybe I don't even know if I'm real. The Matrix. So I want to sort of follow up on something from last week. I want to watch some of this video here. Oh, what's up, Kira? I got a cat on my lap and a dog walking through. Looks like Jowl. No. She's like, I need a drink. Me too. Cheers, Kira. I want to follow up because last episode I was going on and on about the Artemis mission and how I could easily generate AI pictures in minutes, and it looks pretty legit, and people would probably think that they were absolutely real. Which I did accomplish that. Kira's just taking a big drink, and I don't know if you can hear. She's drinking like an elephant right now. But anyways, all right. So this week I saw this video, and I've heard of this guy before. We're just gonna watch a little bit of this. I'll try to skip through it. You know, I don't watch the whole dang thing, and it's his content. But gotta give credit to Eric DeBay. I'm subscribed, but I'm on a different channel. I'll go ahead and subscribe again. But this is exposing NASA Artemis 2 photo and video fakery. And you know me, bosses, I think space is fake and gay. I don't think it's what they're telling us it is. And I'm not like space doesn't exist. I can look up and see things, but I don't think it's what they're telling us what they are. And, you know, if you know me, I believe that all of these space missions and everything are fake, and they're just for show, and they have to take government money and then also brainwash people into thinking that we can go to other planets and inhabit them without even first restoring our own. So that's just insane to me. But only the rich get to go live on the moon. Only the rich get to go live on Mars. That's the thing. It's not me and you going out there. Once this planet dies, no, it's going to be very few people. They'll be ruling Earth from there. It's like that movie Elysium. Is that what it's called, with Matt Damon, where he's got the robot bodysuit? That movie wasn't horrible, but they had the ring up above the planet, and they all were rich, and they ruled the people down below, and Matt Damon wanted to go up there and show them what for. Also kind of like Alita Battle Angel. Kind of similar there. But anyways, let's take a look at this. Let's watch a little bit of this. I'm going to try to skim through it, get to some good, you know, the good parts and whatnot. It's all good, but I just don't want to watch the whole thing and take his, you know, video.
NASA continues to release new images and videos from their latest moon mission, exposing themselves more with each one. Meanwhile, backpedaling space fantasy fanboys are working overtime, making excuses for all the anomalies and inconsistencies.
So if you see right there, what's going on is it looks like the window pane would go around there, and it would if you follow this line, the line would go around like that. But instead you get this very flat portion of the alleged Earth in the corner. Looks like it's horribly edited and pasted into there, and that corner totally goes up over the line. So you either have to believe that this window pane has a really weird crooked edge on it for no reason, or that this is flat and they pasted it on crooked.
Let's start with a quick slideshow of some of the new Earth and Moon images being given to the public, claimed to be real handheld photographs taken by astronauts through windows in a rocket.
I don't know about that. I last episode I was like, hey.
Flying at speeds between 3,000 and 22,000 miles per hour. Most things filmed outside through your car window going just 65 miles per hour are a blur.
He's not wrong about that. I mean, you could argue that scale is involved. Like, if you're in an airplane flying over something, the ground below isn't moving as fast, you know, so maybe I could argue that one a little bit.
Yet NASA never seems to have this problem, even at the incredible speeds they claim to attain. To a discerning eye, the colors, lighting, and textures in these pictures are all very synthetic and unrealistic, looking much more like CGI than actual photography.
Like, nothing about this picture looks real to me, just in my opinion. There's not a single thing about any of this. It looks like it just looks like a wallpaper that you'd get on Windows or something for free. You know, it doesn't look. It just looks like something that's been rendered or whatever.
Here is actual video of the moon taken from Earth by a Nikon P900 super zoom camera. We can see the moon's color, lighting, and textures from Earth.
Now that looks real. Like that looks way more real than the other picture to me. Because if it's taken from a telescope, I've looked at the moon from a telescope before. It's not like the moon doesn't exist. I've looked at the moon from a telescope, and actually it was on almost like a full moon night. It might have been a full moon night, and I just had this cheap telescope, and I was pointing it at it, and I finally got it lined up. I looked at it for just a few minutes, and by the time I was done with it, my right eye was almost blind because it was so bright. Like, it was unbelievably bright. I didn't even realize it at the time. I was just looking at it. I was like, it's cool. But yeah, like, I'm not saying the moon doesn't exist. I've seen it with my own right eye that almost went blind.
Amazing detail with just an 83 times zoom camera, which first of all suggests the moon isn't 240,000 miles away as claimed, but also shows how unnatural and unrealistic the new Artemis images actually are. Even AI bots that are trained to detect and differentiate real photographs from CGI are claiming the new NASA images are fake. In 2026, with the level of realism that CGI...
We're trusting the AI too much to make up our own minds on things, in my opinion. But look, the AI is intelligent. Apparently they can find all kinds of breaks and things, and like if your computer software has something wrong with it, it can find it real quick. But yeah, like we are now reliant. We're not. Snopes don't matter anymore. We got to go to Grok. You know,
AI and deepfake technologies have achieved to see these images and not be at least a little suspicious if they could possibly be fake.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Is frankly disingenuous and gullible beyond belief. Let's look at this image called A Setting Earth. Notice how clear the craters, shadows, and subtle textures appear. It looks like the camera is only a few dozen, or at most a few hundred miles away from the moon's surface, being generous.
See, that's the thing, man. Shouldn't the Earth be a way bigger, like if you were to see it from there? Oh, man, Tony Nasser, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man? I guess you got your power back on. We're just going over the fakeness of, allegedly the fakeness of the Artemis 2. I can't give this up. This is about as real as Katy Perry's mission from Jeff Bezos. Might be worse. Nah, I don't think it's worse. Skynet will save us. I mean, as long as we take out Miles Dyson.
NASA claims, however, that at its nearest, Artemis 2 was never any closer.
Hope you're doing good, Tony. See you, man.
Closer than 4,000 miles away.
So look, this is Apollo 8 from back in the year 1968 here. Full screen is. This is the picture of it. And then this is the Artemis 2's picture. So look, I don't know. It's just like, how does the moon have that much, like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not a dang scientist, but something seems off about both of them to me.
The moon. Now let's compare that with the following Apollo 11 image from 1969, where the astronauts were supposedly only 60 miles away from the lunar surface. Look at the difference in detail between 60 miles away and 4,000 miles away. Why does everything look far more textured and detailed from 4,000 miles away
It looks
than
so
it does from
fake to
60?
me.
Could it be because photo fakery has come a long way since the 60s, and it actually has nothing to do with their...
Honestly, the old one looks more real to me than the new one. Like, seriously. The old, I mean, even though it don't look real to me, it looks more real to me. It looks, because the graininess, and it look that looks like whatever they were doing, Kubrick was doing back then. It looked better than this computer generated stuff. Just like real movies, like old horror movies were way better because they had actual props and makeup and fake blood rather than CGI blood. And it's the same thing going on here. Am I making sense? I don't know if I am.
Supposed distance from the moon? Notice how much more detailed the lighting, shadows, textures, and contrast are on the Artemis moon images. Also, as a quick aside, if all of these moon craters were supposedly created by meteor impacts hitting the surface, how is it even remotely possible that every single meteor arrives at a straight 90 degrees above the surface's zenith? Every crater is a perfect circle. None of them are oblong or elongated.
So what he's saying here is like if all the craters in the moon are done by meteors, then they should look more like the bottom one than the top because they would come in from different angles. I don't know. I don't know what the moon is made of, man. Like it's a good question.
Elongated as they would have to be if meteors were actually striking from all angles. For the ruler and the original NASA.gov images, the Earth changes size a factor of over 1,000% between the two pictures.
Here's some
the
good
Earth
stuff
is
right
only
here
4% closer in the second image, but yet appears 1,000% larger. There was a similar size discrepancy in the images sent from Artemis, claimed to be halfway to the moon. During their live stream, they stated they were halfway to the moon, and yet the moon appeared much smaller than it does on Earth.
What? A what? A what? Sometimes the moon is pretty dang big when you see it, dude, especially a full moon, or if you see one of those like blood moons or whatever, the orange ones that come up sometimes. Those things look gigantic in the sky. And this is halfway to the moon on this damn shuttle, and look at that thing. It looks like a tic-tac, like the end of a tic-tac. Man.
In their Hello World image here, only a portion of Africa and a bunch of ocean is shown.
I love this one. I've watched this video before, by the way. I love this. So if this is a real picture of Earth, they're saying that we see Africa here, but where's the rest of it?
Leaving the entire other 6 continents to impossibly fit on the other 50% of their CGI globe. In addition to this, they took another similar shot called Dark Side of the Earth, where the exact same cloud patterns are shown as in Hello World. Some people are claiming these images were taken only minutes apart from one another, but as you can see directly from NASA.gov, they state that one was taken on April 2nd and the other was taken on April 3rd. Either way, if they were taken on different days, how could the clouds stay the same? And if
the clouds. I was at the Bristol race this weekend, and there was a clear sky at one point, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of clouds above. Luckily, it didn't rain or nothing. They were just those big puffy clouds. But I just remembered, seeing them change quite quickly. And if this is over a day, I mean, you look right here, it's literally it's the same thing. Even that one. But if you take down the contrast of that same image, then yeah, it's gonna look like these certain parts might disappear, but even down to everything, it's the same. This one,
if NASA has written it wrong on their own website and these were taken the same day, how can the brightness of Earth change so much when the sun, the only light source in space, is fully eclipsed by the Earth?
Well, good question. Peter says the moon doesn't change size, it's atmospheric distortion. Well, that is a conspiracy theory that I don't know. Here, I have my own theories about the moon. I don't think it's what they're telling us, man. I think it's way closer to us than what they're telling us. And it can become closer. And that's just my stupid, crazy conspiracy theory opinion. There's no merit behind that at all. There's no proof. It's just something I think about. Because sometimes it's just like I said, when I looked at the telescope that one time, it didn't look like it was that far away. You know what I mean? It was a cheap telescope. It wasn't even like a great one, but as soon as I zoomed in on that thing, got it focused, the moon didn't even look like it was that far or even that big, to be honest with you. It looked like it was close and small. But and I'm not saying so close that like if you're flying in an airplane, it's going to be super close or anything, but like closer than what they're telling us. It says, but if it's true the moon appears small sometimes and much larger other times, the moon is very gradually moving further away from Earth. But also, you always see the same side of it. I think that's crazy too. You know, I think that's, and I know that these astronauts allegedly were showing the dark side of the moon and stuff, and you know, I don't buy it personally. I just don't buy this stuff.
They also show Earth images like this, where part of the Earth globe is completely dark, hidden behind a Terminator line. How is it that Earth can be shown 3 totally different ways like this? Fully lit, dimly lit, and completely dark. Finally, let's take a look at some video glitches proving they are using CGI, or more specifically, augmented virtual reality, to create all the floating objects the crew interacts
cool.
with
You
on
see
the
this kind of is interesting here.
spacecraft. They are constantly playing with stuffed toys, their food, the microphone, and other objects to convince the public that they're really floating in outer space and not simply suspended on wires in a studio. But watch as this food pouch spins near this astronaut's
What's
face.
the red dot?
You can see as the edge grazes his forehead, it glitches out and goes right through, rather than realistically touching his face.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
There is no change in direction of the pouch from hitting his head.
That's pretty obvious.
And instead, it just continues floating right through, as if he wasn't there at all. Now pay attention to the red spot on the white pouch. As the pouch spins around slowly, the red dot doesn't spin with the pouch. For several frames, you can see the red dot stay in exactly the same shape and space, not realistically.
Dang, it's almost like they maybe pre-recorded these and it just didn't work out for them.
Moving and turning with the rest of the bag.
Allegedly.
Then, as the bag continues to turn, at one point, you can see the red dot just vanishes completely.
Because one of the theories is that the rocket ship had a trolley that would, in an emergency, it would take the astronauts away from the rocket, you know, in case the rocket was starting to blow up, they could just run out there, get in the trolley, slide down these wires. Apparently that they used that right before the rocket took off, but no, there's no proof of whether or not they were in it, you know, or maybe they were just trying to save some money and just like, they're lifting off. Let's not burn it up with some, you know, flames. Maybe they're just trying to save a couple bucks. We'll just, you know, let it go. And then we can reel it back up later in case we have to use it again. You know, but you know, I always try to be fair on each side. I always try to think about like either side of it, you know. But it is kind of weird that you could see that in the video.
For several turns, the bag continues spinning around, but the red dot is nowhere to be found. And then, finally, after some more turns, the red dot mysteriously and inexplicably reappears. This is because these are digital and not physical objects which they are interacting with, using a technology called augmented virtual reality. By wearing special VR contact lenses, you are able to see a digital overlay of pre-rendered interactable 3D objects within your physical 3D space.
What?
The objects do not exist in physical space, but are seen and interactable live in real time through the use of this technology.
That's wild, man.
Remember, NASA takes over $70 million per day of American taxpayer money.
Thanks,
A big
government.
budget Hollywood movie like Gravity, starring Sandra Bullock, was
I
filmed
like this comparison. I hate to pause it right now, but I want to highlight this part in case you got bored with it for a second. I like what he says about the movie Gravity, and then like what's going on.
Hollywood movie like Gravity, starring Sandra Bullock, was filmed 100% on Earth, using nothing but wires, green screens, and CGI. That movie cost $100 million to make. That's NASA's budget for a day and a half.
Dang!
Imagine what kind of movie can be made with NASA's yearly budget of $24 billion. In fact, you don't have to imagine, because this entire Artemis II charade and everything else from NASA is exactly that. A big budget Hollywood production made with the express purpose of disseminating this propaganda into the minds of the masses. The loyal NASA fanboy sycophants will try to make excuses and brush these impossible anomalies and wild discrepancies under the rug. But the more discerning amongst us are waking up. And I'm seeing this Artemis mission backfire as many more people are finally seeing through the lies.
I want to thank Eric Dubé. He did not allow me to use that, but just watch it on YouTube. But I just thought it was fantastic, and I want to give the guy credit for that video there. But yeah, I'm not sold on it. I am not sold on it at all. I'm just not. What if I just don't believe it. Let's see. Peter says North American Indian legends speak of the time before the moon. Well, that's kind of creepy. Because you'd think the moon would always be going around the Earth if it's always been around. I don't know. I don't know when it would have entered our orbit. Maybe there was just a big rock that eventually entered our orbit and started spinning. I guess that's the whole theory, the Big Bang theory, right? There's a bunch of something came out of nothing and it blew up, and then everything started orbiting, and it goes on forever and ever and ever, and that's the universe. But yeah, I don't know. Pierce says, I'm unconvinced by that video. I'm not convinced by anything, but I don't believe that it happened. I believe that all of that's fake. Just me personally. I'm not letting up on that. I don't believe in any of this space travel stuff that they're doing. I'm not even going to be nice about it. I mean, I'm not going to be rude or anything. I'm just saying that I think it's all a bunch of bull crap. Stealing a bunch of our tax dollars, thinking that we're going to go do all these things. Like it's not happening, man. And I've seen enough footage of this thing that why can't they just, there's no footage of them just taking an iPhone and recording the inside of the ship and then looking out the window, or a GoPro on the side that doesn't have to be connected to Earth, but could be, just recording with a SD card on the side of the ship or something, or just out the window showing the entire trip the entire time. And then when they come back, they can post that or show us that and be like, here's the entire trip with a GoPro camera. Suck it, flat earthers. Why don't they do that? Why don't they do that? Why does everything look so fake and like if you just look at it, it just doesn't look real to me. Like, and I'm not saying that because like I'm stupid and be like, well, you've never been there, Hoff. You don't know what it looks like. I know when things look fake. I've watched enough TV. Pierce says the window frame is a well-known optical illusion. Difference between a light background, Earth, and dark background makes the edge of the window look uneven. I don't even think that's the biggest tell at all, but it was a very good one. Like I said, either that window frame was crooked or yeah, it was copy and paste it in, which it looked like that was the case. Speaking of Katy Perry, dude, let me see if I can find this, dude. Just for fun, just for fun. This one's just for fun. By the way, Tony, if you're still there, man, if you'd like to come by and if you hang out on the stream for a little bit, let me know, man. I'll put the link in the chat for you. I got one more subject after this, but this is just for fun right here. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is crazy. So, you know, we also made fun of Katy Perry's trip to space earlier in the year. Not this year. I think it was last year. Dude, time flies. I got shoulder pain from sleeping. I got a pinched nerve from sleeping. By the way, Peter, I do respect your opinion, man. I do respect your opinion. To me, it just looks too fishy. I can smell it. But we made fun of Katy Perry going on the Jeff Bezos thing. Now this whole thing, this is just for fun. I'm not really going to talk about this too long, but there's this thing. I don't even know what's going on here. It's from Sarah Rose. Katy Perry. I don't know if I want to get into this. I don't want to read that out loud. You can read it yourself. But basically, Katy Perry allegedly did something bad and rubbed her ham wallet in someone's face, and it made her vomit. And who knows with these people these days, man? It's just disgusting. Probably had some Jeff Bezos dick up in that thing. Oh, Hoff, what are you doing, man? That was just for fun, but it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. But we're also going to get into a portion of the show where this is the finale here. Said I'm over it, so I'm gonna show some things here where I'm over some things. And that's the that'll be the show there. Unless Tony wants to come by and chat for a few. Oh man, dude, my shoulder's freaking killing me, dude. This pinched nerve. All right, so let me get my keyboard here. So I saw this video earlier this week here. Actually, I'll start out simple and then I'll go into it. That's what I'll do. All right, so what up, Dale? Dale's my cat. Peter says, I mean, the government lies about everything, but the evidence he presented is weak. I don't think it's that weak. At least he's trying out there, you know. But we're gonna switch subjects here, and I got some issues with some things out here, man. Got some issues with some things, and I just want to show how ridiculous this is. Let me do this. I'm gonna take a quick like a 30-second break, and we will be right back. All right, that was way longer than 30 seconds, but I'm still alive here. I didn't die. I just had to go to the bathroom there. All right, let's see, man. So this is woke argument backfires in heated debate. So, man, here's my thing, dude. Here's my thing. Pretty much zero tolerance these days for the and let me be clear, I'm pretty much zero tolerance for the trans community these days. I don't like trans people at all. And let me tell you why. It's because they're living a lie and they're expecting me to lie along with them, and they're making me be dishonest about who they are because they're lying to themselves about who they are, and then they want me to go along with the charade. It's like, it's fine if there's a child and he dresses up as Spider-Man or Batman, and you go like, oh yeah, you're Spider-Man, you're Batman, and it's fine if that's the case. But when you're a grown adult and you want me to like call you a crazy name like Morpheus or Roswell or like, and it's a non-binary name, and like I can't get with it, man, because you're making me lie, and I don't like to lie. I know you're living a lie, but you want me to pretend along with you that what you're going through is my problem and not yours. In fact, I don't even know where these people get these things from a lot of places. In my opinion, the trans thing is a trend. I want to be very clear about something. I want to be very, very clear. Very clear. I don't dislike gay people. I don't dislike because that, if you have a preference, kind of makes sense. It's the trans. It's the trans I got a big problem with these days, all right? And it's because they don't make no sense. All right, if you wanted a Hoffcast rant, you're going to get it tonight. We're going to watch some of this, and then I got another thing to show after it. But yeah, this is a pretty good. Let me fast forward here. This lady here, this is Jesse Lee Peterson. I love this guy. And he's interviewing this woman who is non-binary but identifies as a female, and I don't know, and it's just, we'll skip through this, but let's watch a little bit of it here.
You identify as a non-binary. Am I right?
Also, I want to thank Usher Reacts, the channel. I'm showing from there, so.
Yeah, that's not something I talk about a lot, but I identify both as non-binary and as female. To me, non-binary just means that I don't subscribe to the gender binary. I think gender is a social construct, and I don't like being confined by stereotypes.
gender is a social construct. Like this sort of it's really like it's like these people are brainwashed. Like they've just heard these things over and over and over. And they just repeat them back. Like it means anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's they think they're wise, they're better than us, and that they know something we don't know. They're full of love and acceptance, but they don't even they don't know who they are, and it's because this will come in later in this video, which I think is amazing. I think it's an amazing video where you see this woman kind of break.
So you don't like being confined as a female?
So I also do identify as female, but I just like to challenge a lot of the assumptions that come with that.
Yeah, I read that you wrote an article for Teen Vogue, and you said you identify as a woman, but you also identify as a non-binary. So for me, I'm black and slow. What is a non-binary exactly?
Somebody who does not identify exclusively as a man or a woman. So someone might identify as not a man or a woman. They might identify as both non-binary and a man or a woman. It just means that they don't subscribe to the gender binary.
Oh, I see. So do you sometimes identify as...
Don't subscribe to it. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is... It makes me so upset that this is the crap that they're putting into people's heads these days. Like, don't believe in who you are. You don't have a personality. You are just anything now. You are moldable. You know, we can make you whatever we want to make you because you don't have a personality anymore. If you want to feel like a woman one day, you'll feel like a woman. You want to feel like a man, you feel like a man. Woo, I feel like whatever. But if you want to feel like a piece of cake one day or a blueberry muffin, you know, you can do all that. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a mental illness, by the way. I'm not trying to talk down about mental illness, but when these people, we'll get into it, but like, it's hard to feel bad when people cause so many problems for just complicating things for no reason. Like it makes no sense to me. Like, what are they putting in the water these days?
As a male?
No.
You always identify as a female, but sometimes as nothing.
Right.
What does nothing feel like?
Just feels like I'm just like a soul and a light being, and not like my soul isn't gendered.
So if you are...
Her soul isn't gendered. She's enlightened.
At a bar one night, and this handsome guy comes through, and he sees this beautiful woman, and he goes, well, I'm going over and talk to that lady. And are you going to say, well, I'm not a lady tonight, I'm a non-binary?
No, I really would not. I mean, some people might feel that way. I really would not personally care as long as I didn't feel like he was stereotyping me based on what I look like.
Amazing.
I cut off his amazing. I'm sorry. Amazing. These people, dude, which she admits this later, that she's learned all of this in college. Not just from her professors, but from her peers as well, that this is the way you should think, or else you're bad. You're a racist. You're a bigot. You're a homophobe. You're a, you know, sexist. You're a xenophobe. This is like, and all of this, all of these people are all of those things. And they're putting on a mask. They're covering themselves in order to seem like they're not. You're gonna act like you're not you're gonna pretend like you don't have an opinion on someone or anything. What do? They eat food and they're just like, I'm non-binary, so I can't judge food by taste. Does that make any sense? It probably doesn't. I know what I'm trying to say. But it's like, well, if nothing matters, if nothing can be defined, then there's nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something defined by who you are. You can't just be everything all the time. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's why they have no personality. That's why they're brainwashed. That's why they're dumb. It's because they've fallen into this trap where I can be anything and nothing at the same time, which that means there's no definition to it whatsoever, or to who you are. You are so moldable and malleable and weak that you can just be influenced by whatever at any time. You won't stand up for anything, really. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just agree with you all the time. I'll never say no. I like everything. I love everyone unless you don't like me.
How does that personally help you to identify as a non-binary? What does it do for you?
It allows me to feel free to be myself, regardless of what gender roles might dictate.
So when you go home to visit your parents sometimes, and they say, here come my daughter. You say, no, today I'm a non-binary.
My parents don't know anything about that.
They don't know about it?
No.
So you would never tell them about it?
I don't think they'd get it.
I wonder why. I wonder why they don't get it. Probably because the reason why you exist is because they're not gay.
It's a woman.
I don't know if anyone really knows that. You know, people used to say it meant 2 X chromosomes, but then there's trans people and then there's intersex people. I think ultimately it's someone who identifies as a woman, and it's your choice how you identify.
So
you're probably right there, Peter. You're probably right.
For example, there are a lot of males who identify as a woman. Are they really women, or do they just think that they are? But in reality, they are not.
I think that it's really a personal identity, and that if you feel you are a woman, you are, because I don't think anyone has even agreed on a biological definition. Like, even some people with 2 X chromosomes have like genital configurations or hormones that might suggest male to some people, and gender is really a social construct. And so since it is made up by society, we should have the chance to make it up for ourselves, whatever it means to us.
So one other thing about that, because I want to move on. At what point in life did you decide, you know what, I'm going to be a non-binary?
Great question. And I think we're going to wrap things up with this. I don't think Tony's still here anymore, but I was hoping maybe he could come on the show for a few. If not, maybe I'll see him later, or he's just busy. But either way, I had a good time tonight. But we're going to wrap this up for too long. Here says they're expanding the definition of identity beyond any semblance of reality. Yeah, it's like dude, the whole thing is going to be longer than the actual alphabet at some point. You know, it's going to be and one of them is going to be AI. You know, like they get the chip in their head because they're trans. If you're a transsexual, you will eventually become a transhuman, because you've given up your identity and your personality and your humanism, and you've given up your. Even though this woman talks about, she's just look. I want to be honest about this woman, not Jesse. Let me rewind here to show her, because that's who I'm talking about. So this woman, she's a woman, clearly a woman, and she's bought into this scam, this trend, whatever the hell it is, dude. I have to admit, dude, when I was younger, I had a goth phase. You know, I hate to say it. I had a goth sort of phase, and I wasn't super gothy, but like, you know, I liked goth chicks. I'll admit that when I was in my teens and early, 20s, I liked some goth chicks. And so that would, and I would listen to some goth music. I'd listen to him, but I'd listen to 69 Eyes. I listened to a lot of like more goth bands back then, and I would dye my hair and I would put on eyeliner, and I would I'd wear black clothes with skulls on them and pants with I never had the gigantic pants with straps. I'll say that. I used to wear cargo pants, black cargo pants, but I never had the big ones, like I never went that far with it. Clearly I've never had any piercings or tattoos or anything, so I've never gone too far with anything. But it was a trend, and if I was still doing that today, I would be freaking embarrassing. Awesome one. What's up, man? Is that a Frank Sinatra song? Fly me over the moon. It's probably not. I might just made that up. So wait, aren't you still goth? No, I'm not goth. I am not goth at all. I actually do have him cut out vinyl still back on that wall, but no, I'm not goth, man. I'm way happier in my life. I was never even I used to listen to a lot of depressing music, but I was never even really depressed, to be honest with you. And that's my whole point of what I'm talking about with this woman is like I got involved with people who were like who were into this stuff. And people can be very influential on you. People can make you want to fit in with them. Not for me anymore. I do my own thing now, dude. I don't care what you think about me, dude. I'll wear whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. But back in the day, man, when I was in college and in high school, I would I thought everyone cared about what I was wearing, and I like to look nice. Okay, that's my number one thing. I like to look presentable and nice. I don't like dirty. I don't like to wear. You'll never catch me out in public in pajama pants like some of these sluts at Walmart. Okay, you'll never catch me doing that. But I just like to look nice and clean and presentable, fresh and clean. So fresh and clean. But the whole thing is, they can influence you. People can influence you to do things, and in order just to fit in with them when you're somewhere that you don't have any friends or anything, you want to kind of make friends. And that's, I mean, there's a lot of different categories of that. It's not just trans people or goth people, but it's also like people who play Magic the Gathering, like, you know what I mean? People who play Super Smash Brothers, people who go to, car shows. I don't know, man. Like there's all kinds of different categories, but what they're doing in the colleges and what they're guilting people with is this thing. And then like some of those are fun, but this isn't as fun. Awesome was be like the dude who paints his face white and black X's and now can't stand most goth women. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't face paint, man. I don't think I've ever painted my face in my entire life. I don't remember ever painting my face ever. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that.
Have like genital configurations or hormones that might suggest male to some people, and gender is really a social construct. And so since it is...
we already saw this part.
So life, did you decide? One other thing about that, because I want to move on. At what point in life did you decide, you know what, I'm going to be a non-binary. I'm just not going to be what the world say I am. At what point in life did you decide that?
In college, when I learned what it was. Before that, I didn't really know what it was.
Oh, they taught you that in college?
I don't...
So she didn't know who she was before college. Like, does that mean like... that could go a lot of different ways right there. It's like, well, I mean, if you don't know who you are, again, I didn't know who I was, like who I was going to become, but I didn't stay in the goth state. I don't paint my eye. I don't put eyeliner on anymore. You know, I don't dye my hair. I don't, I'm wearing black today, but it's just because I like this shirt. It's a cool shirt. I'll wear more. Dude, you saw my pictures at the racetrack. I wear bright colors. I like bright colors on occasion.
I don't know if it was taught in class or just by my peers. I think it may have just been from people I knew.
And so when you first heard it in college, did you go, what the?
From people.
Let's rewind
taught
this.
In class.
They taught you that in college?
I don't know if it was taught in class or just by my peers. I think it may have just been from people I knew.
And so when you...
Bam! Bam! Peter says gender is a biological construct. She was sane before college.
First heard it in college, did you go, what the? Did you accept it right away, or was it hard to accept that idea of a non-binary? Or did you just say, yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah, I thought it made sense.
Right away?
Mm-hmm.
Were you high?
I wasn't really into that stuff, so wasn't high.
That's amazing. And
I think she should get high and figure some things out. But yeah, I agree, Peter. She's probably more sane before college. I totally agree with that. College, dude, like I went to college. I didn't learn a whole lot, man. Really didn't. It was such a waste of time and money for me. And again, like I get involved with people I probably shouldn't have been involved with. And all of these people, by the way, were liberals. And it wasn't until I got away from, like, long story short, I went to college, met the girl that I got engaged to, and all throughout those years, I was in this liberal community, and she was a big liberal, and we fought all the time, not about politics, but she was just crazy. And I'm not going to go into detail, but as soon as I got away from her and that whole college scene and just left that all behind, my opinions changed. I was able to be like, dude, this is stupid. This is like, what is going on here? Like, I was brainwashed for so long, and I'm like, man, why was I thinking like that? This is retarded. This is literally like mental illness, and it's mental gymnastics where you gotta like try to convince somebody that you're right about something when nature, I hate to say it, but nature, you ain't producing as a species if you're gay. All right. So that's not natural. Let's just say that. No one can admit that though. No, people want to scissor and get fake dicks sewn onto their crotches, or in order to. I don't even know what's going on, but I didn't like any of that, and it's gotten so far to this point that I'm over it, and I'm just saying I can't stand this crap anymore. It's got to go. It's as a trend, like the goth trend, or whatever trends that happened. It's got to go. It's got to go. These kids got to start waking up, man. They got to start being in the real world. But my biggest fear is they lead people through social media to become transsexual in order to make them more malleable or moldable, to make them transhuman. Like, if we're going to fight the robots, you got to be transhuman. Peter says, if you identify as an aircraft, will it alter your flight characteristics? I would. That's a great question. Right now, I identify as a race car, you know, or a donut. I can be anything I want right now, everybody. That's wokeness. That's wokeness. I might read my essay on wokeness at the end of the show. That would be a great way to wrap it up. If I can find that notebook. I wrote an essay on wokeness. Someone said, wow, you were engaged. Yeah, it was about 8 years ago. Yeah. Never married, though. Never married. I've never been married, but I was engaged to the devil. Long story short, she was crazy. She got on medicine. She took the medicine a long time. Medicine stopped working. She tried to, I'm not saying she tried to kill me, but, you know, she came after me many times.
So what is a male besides just body parts? What is a male?
Same thing as female, someone who identifies as male. Yeah, I would say a male is somebody who says that they are.
Do you,
well,
what's your impression of men today?
A male is somebody who says they are a male. I got a Toyota Camry. I'm going to start telling everyone it's a Porsche.
I think men, they have a lot to deal with from society, like women. There's a lot of confusing social roles and stereotypes, and I can't really make a generalization. I think I have...
The people who care most about stereotypes are these people. Like, most people don't, it's just like, it is what it is, you know? You know, black people like fried chicken and watermelon. You know, guess what? I do too. Guess what? I love fried chicken and watermelon. So whatever. Who gives a flying fuck?
Sympathy with men for like all the things that they deal with.
Yeah. Do you're not married or anything, right?
Mm-mm.
You date?
Mm-hmm.
And you date men?
Yeah.
You date women too?
No.
Amazing.
Why?
I thought you were going to say yes. I'm glad to hear that.
So this woman she's just a woman who is brainwashed. Dude, I used to work with people like this, dude. I used to work with people like this. I'm not going to go through this entire video. I think a little bit more, and then I'll go to something else and I'll wrap this up. But
I wanted to ask you about this. The author of Harry Potter, the woman by the name of J.K. Rowling. She came under fire recently for saying trans women are not women.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with her?
No, I don't agree with her.
And why not?
Because, like I said, people get to identify with whatever they choose. And I think trans women have so many disadvantages and discrimination and violence against them that it's really important to include them in feminism. And I think what she says risks sort of excluding them in, you know, the fight that includes cis women. And I think it should include all women.
That is the problem right there, dude. These white women, and by the way, she admits that she's Jewish later, doesn't mean anything. But, dude, she admits right there that these women are so sympathetic to these, allegedly sympathetic, that they will allow, basically what she's saying is like the whole problem, which thank goodness Trump put an end to, of men being in women's sports. So if you're a trans woman, we should be sympathetic to them so we can include men into the women's society, which she doesn't even always identify as a woman. So on whose behalf should she be allowed to do that for? No, not a real woman. Not a real woman. That's for fucking sure.
Does she deserve to be canceled because she said that? That's her opinion.
What do you mean by canceled?
They try to get rid of her books. They don't recognize, you know, she was very popular. Mm-hmm. But when she said that, they wanted to turn off her books. They don't want to interview her. She's like, not accepted anymore for the most part. Should she be treated that way?
That's tough because I think it depends. I think people should challenge her and talk to her about what she said. And I don't necessarily think people should stop reading her books. I think that's sort of a separate entity, and people.
So she wants to keep being a Harry Potter fan, and John Lithgow went against it. Also, someone says, "Is this woman hot? She seems like it." I think Jesse even asked her that. Peter says, "Women's fashion is a social construct. Women's roles in society are a social construct based on the strengths and weaknesses inherent to the biological construct of being female. It's not a social construct. It has nothing to do with social. That word has to be eradicated from that sentence. Like, seriously, because women are built different than men. So their fashion would be different than ours. The way that they make themselves, the way that they're made up. The social thing has to be eradicated from that sentence. That doesn't make any sense. It should say women's fashion is a construct. Women's roles in society are a construct based on the strengths and weaknesses inherent to the biological construct of being female as opposed to being a male. So that's how that went. That's how that should go to me. The social thing is absolutely stupid. That's the whole reason I'm against this. This is why I think it's why people like this woman right here believes the things that she believes, is because social media, peer pressure, trends, what she reads online, what she doesn't have a personality, so she's been pushed in that thinking that she's a good person now because she believes these things, but she's lying to herself, she's lying to everyone else, and to me, I won't play games with that. I just won't. But I agree with you, Peter. You just got to take social out of that. You have to take the word social out of that. Tony says, "I'm back fully charged." Oh, man. Look at him, dude. He's like Zeus out here. Have you come? If you want to come by, dude, let me know in the chat. I'll send you the StreamYard link. I'll let you on, man. If you don't want to come by live, maybe I'll see you after the show. But if you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome to. People love Tony Nasser. I think they like him more than they like me. Austin was his woman dressed for woman, but some women are now getting surgery to their face look like men in drag. Yeah, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. But let me show you here. This is the last thing I wanted to bring up. If you want to watch the rest of this interview, she doesn't know who she is. I mean, this is Usher Reacts. I like to credit people, when I show their content. I also don't like to use it all and just show it. I like to comment on it. But I think that was mainly like there's a lot more to it, but it's that we saw the best parts, But I wanted to show this last video here. And I wish I'd show more of these on Hoffcast because I think they're pretty interesting. But this is also relevant to what I'm talking about right now. I can't find the full one now. What happened to it? I'm only getting reaction videos now instead of the official one. Maybe if I type in official. I don't think this is the same one that I watched before, but I think it's the one I can find here. and it's going to it's going to kind of say what I'm trying to say about all of this nonsense here. Everyone here, thanks for being here, by the way. I know we're up late tonight, but I appreciate you. Tony says, I'll hang out after the show. I appreciate you, man. I'll see you after the show. I'll put the link in right before the end of this. And anyone who wants to come backstage, anyone is more than welcome to. Someone says many of these official podcast people are removing when people dogpile on how dumb they sound. Well, I might get removed. But check this out. This is the last video I want to show. And then I want to read my essay and call it a night. So this, I wish I could find the original one, but this one seems pretty lengthy as well, so I can kind of skip through it here. But basically this teenage, she was a girl named Julia, or she is a girl named Julia. She was upset because she had been convinced into becoming transgender, and her mom wasn't putting up with it. You know what I mean?
Are you her anyway? This is Julia Egler. Just a few hours ago, her mother was murdered, along with her mother's boyfriend.
I don't know if to get to. It's okay. I'm so sorry.
But what the detectives didn't know was that this case was about to take a dark turn because the person behind both murders has been sitting right there among them the whole time.
By the way, I gotta say, what is the name of this channel? I want to thank this channel, Stay Awake Crime and Interrogation. This is not the same video I saw the other night, but again, I'm gonna skip through some of them.
Hearing more gunshots. Was it like bang, 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 bang? Or was it like bang, 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 bang?
The second one.
On August 7th, 2024, at approximately 12:17 a.m., the Palm Bay Police Department responded to a disturbing call from a 16-year-old girl named Julia Egler. When officers arrived, the scene they found was so deeply unsettling that even the first responders struggled to find the words to describe it. It was particularly brutal.
So I know this whole case. We don't have to go through it all, but I will skip through some of it. So basically, this trans girl's mom, this girl named Julia, and she wants to be known as Jasper. She basically murdered her mom and her boyfriend because she didn't like that her mom was dating a 22-year-old guy when she was 37, 36, 7. But her mom didn't approve of her becoming a being like a boy, like she's a girl and she grew up as a girl, and they seem to have a really good relationship. But all the peer pressure from these insane people and all the social media and all the bullshit convinced this young woman that she was being misunderstood, and she had to become a non-binary man or whatever, or a dude. And then she ended up killing her mom and her boyfriend.
He had suffered multiple stab wounds across his body, as well as gunshot wounds to both his torso and his head. After clearing the house, officers turned their attention to the one person who could shed light on what had happened that night. But what Julia told them would make this case far more disturbing than anyone had anticipated.
But that's Julia. She's got this like boyish haircut because she thinks that if she gets a boyish haircut, that makes her a man, and it doesn't. At one point, she's crying, and she says, "That's not very manly, is it?" I don't know if we'll see it in this video, but I just had to make that comment there. Let me get to this the comments for a second here in the chat. Ideological subversion, changing the perception of reality of an entire population to such an extent that despite an abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about, Peter. You get it, dude. Yes, you totally 100% get it. I mean, that's what my entire show has been based on since I started Hoffcast. That is literally, I should, I don't want to plagiarize you, but that's basically what Hoffcast is trying to get people to see the dumbness in the world. In the interest of defending their families, their community, and country. Yuri Bezmenov sounds like a Russian. Awesome one says, your stash is almost peak handlebar. It could have been, I did trim it up a little bit today, but thank you. Dude, I've been getting a lot of comments on the stash. This hot chick at the Bristol race the other day said I look like Benson Boone. I don't even know who that is. I looked him up. He's a handsome fella, but I'm not as handsome as him. No homeowners. I'm just, credit where credit's due, Mendez brother was one person. I thought your show was about playing your weird music box and making bosses. It still is. My weird music box, I had to let it go because it's hard to hear it. You want me to do it? You want me to do it? I'll do it. See, it's not loud at all. Let's turn that thing up. There you go. For old time's sake. Is this what you're talking about? The weird music box? I think that. See, Peter says, what's going on here? I can't click on this thing anymore. What's going on? I can't not highlight this. I might have to refresh real quick and come back in. I think I'm glitching up out here because I can't highlight my other thing. So I'll be right back, bosses. I'll be right back. All right, sorry everyone. I am back. Let's see if this is working. Now we're working again. Okay, I still don't have that. Like I'm not full screened. There we go. Still not full screened. All right, Pete Bossman. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. But anyways, I kind of explained that video already. I'm not gonna watch the rest of it. I'm gonna wrap this thing up, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in there. But I will say a few more things. I will give my essay that I promised. And the show will conclude after my essay. And I thank everyone for being here. But I'm still alive. They should teach classes in school based on Bezmenov's testimony to enable people young age. I don't know who Bezmenov is. I have to look this up. I have no idea who we're talking about here. I have no idea. I might be throwing stuff out there I don't even know about. See. Oh, what you doing, dog? Got my little rider, dog. Oh, going with construction today, dog. Oh, dog. See. Let me put the invite in for anyone who wants to hang out with me afterwards. Probably nobody, but all good. You guys want to hear my essay? It's not finished yet. It's kind of in the works, but it's like a first draft. If you want to hear it. Peter says he was a Soviet defector, Bezmenov, who worked in intelligence and outlined the efforts of global communism to F with our minds. Oh, I don't like commies, dude. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Here's my essays. And then we're gonna end this thing. This is a essay I'm titling Wokeness is Weakness. Wokeness is weakness. Wokeness is weakness. Wokeness is a mind disease that preys on the weak. It's a house of cards built on lies and guilt. It's a sense of righteousness when you are objectively wrong. Wokeness is living in fantasy land without having any regards for reality or truth. It's not just stabbing yourself in the back, but stabbing everyone you know and love in the back. It's having a false sense of pride when you have nothing to be proud of. Wokeness is blaming everyone besides yourself for all of your problems, while simultaneously demanding the utmost respect. It's demanding acceptance while you scream hate at those who see through you. Wokeness is inserting yourself into a conversation when nobody invited you to the party in the first place. Wokeness is claiming to be strong when being the most fragile of all. Wokeness is saying if I'm miserable, then you have to be miserable as well. Wokeness is begging for equality while taking every advantage you can get. Wokeness is living in constant anger because you think the world is unfair only to you. Wokeness is saying I love you to someone's face and saying I hate them behind their back. Wokeness is not having a true identity, but rather living in a hive mind driven by the need for acceptance. Wokeness is hitting someone while you cry out in pain. Wokeness is denying evidence just because you feel a certain way emotionally. Wokeness is not equality. Wokeness is favoritism. Wokeness is saying, look at me, but what are you looking at? Wokeness is manipulation by guilt. Wokeness is saying, I don't like you, so you have to change. Wokeness is leaving everyone behind, then asking, where did everybody go? Wokeness is fabricating problems so you have adversity to fight like windmills. Wokeness is a complete and utter lack of creativity, but rather derivative and destruction in the name of. Wokeness is being in a cult and asking for more Kool-Aid. With that, I will end the stream. I'm going to thank everyone who was here tonight. Let me go through the chat real quick. I want to thank everybody. I love you, bosses. Maybe we can get some more people around here so we can start figuring out the truth about things. Cheers. I want to thank everyone here now. LDG Free the Net. Thanks for being here. Jim's camera. Love you, Jim. You're my man. Francis Sage, long-time viewer. Love you. Awesome that you still show up to these. Same as Mep Effigy. I think they used to be Effigy at Dark. Hope you're doing great. Seems like you are. I'm glad to see that. Kate from Orlando. I think from Orlando, now maybe Daytona. Awesome to see you as well. Peter, always a staple here at Hoffcast. I like Peter because he doesn't always agree with me. I like that. I don't want everyone to agree with me. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I like to have a little bit of discussion. I like it. So I respect Peter a lot. Mr. Tony Nasser, I can't do it. It's not going to do this anymore. StreamYard keeps messing up. So I can't keep showing comments. But Tony Nasser, hopefully I see you later. Awesome 142. Always good to see it. Okay, it's a little delayed. There we go. It's a little delayed. Okay. There we go. Fly me over the moon. And I think I got to everybody here. If I missed you, I apologize. But thank you so much for being here. I got Tony backstage. Let me just say that wrap this up as I always do. Stay vigilant. Don't take any wooden nickels. You see a wooden nickel, you'd be like, I can't spend that. It ain't worth nothing, man. I'm going to keep trying to end the show until I do. Tony's backstage. But I want to thank everyone for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Don't take wooden nickels. Stay vigilant. I'll see you all soon. Peace. Take care. Hoff signing off.